How much are you limiting yourself because you don't have someone to share the experience with? And what are you not daring to do because of fear of not having what it takes? Or how much of your day do you actually do it because it's a duty, and how much of it because you really want to do it and you enjoy to do that thing? We waste our life living it according to others, doing things because we're supposed to and we should do this in a certain way or things in a certain way, or because if we do not respond to some social or family parameter, then we must be doing something wrong. Now, it is proven that we become the 5 people we surround ourselves with the most. Now, it makes sense if you see it like this. We talk about the same things all the time, we share similar habits, and they become somehow a big part of our comfort zone. What we don't realize is that we also absorb their mental programs for better or for worse. So let's see, who would those 5 people be for you? What do they do? What do you talk about? What mental programs are being transmitted to you? Now, in this episode, we are going to talk about programs that are not yours and about social environments, how they hold you back and how they boost you. Now, for those of you who have already been listening to these episodes or previous episodes, you know that on this channel, we talk about mental programming for success. So my intention here is to shake you a little bit so that you see what programs you are activating that no longer serve you or that they simply slow down your authenticity. Now, 2 days ago, I was talking to a friend with whom I did a neuro-linguistic programming certification. He's an engineer, he lives in Brazil. He's in his mid-30s and has been working for 12 years in a fairly strict environment where technical skills, factual data, and concrete results prevail. So he often finds himself in conflict because he's a highly intuitive person. He's moved by behavior and human relationships, but that environment has configured him in such a way that, in his own words, he said his hard skills overshadow any soft skills he has. So he has become an excellent engineer, but he has frustrated his true natural talent and he has struggled to become who he truly is professionally. Now, but isn't my friend's story something that sounds familiar? How many times have you not been in an environment in which you handle yourself very well, you do things well because the skills are already anchored and you know the system very well, you know what you do, but something inside yells at you that something is not quite right. And then you surely judge yourself and you say that you have some sort of problem. Well, no, you don't have any problem. You're perfect just the way you are, and you have everything you need to emerge and to feel fulfilled. And I can assure you something. Your unconscious would not get tired of sending you messages so that you live your own authenticity and that you go out that environment in which you may be in conflict. Now, when I say being in conflict and wanting to get out of this environment, I don't mean that you have to make some radical changes or that you have to end all your relationships in your life. No, it's about making small changes. It's about daring to adopt new positions, meeting new people who are more aligned with you. It's about identifying how you talk to yourself and how this language may be holding you back and change that language to open yourself for new opportunities. But above everything, it's about taking action, even if they are small actions, so that the programs of other people or those are anchored in your environment do not direct your life. Now here I leave you with some ideas, or more like questions, that will help you identify how much of your environment and the mental programs of other people may be holding you back. Now the first idea or first question is, have you ever had an idea, either for business or to improve your professional environment, that you haven't had anybody to talk to or to share it with? Now, if you have anything that you would like to express and there doesn't seem to be anybody to share it with, or that person that will help you challenge you to develop that idea, you're surely in a limiting environment. Human beings, we are about evolving, and civilization is about progressing. We need more people with good ideas, with solutions, with initiative. So if this is your case, the problem is not you, my friend. It's not that you're a dreamer, crazy person. No, it's simply that you are not surrounded by the right people with whom you can grow and go forward. So open up, meet entrepreneurs, meet managers, meet people in different areas of work. Leave your 5 friends and co-workers for a moment, and you will see that your ideas are not so crazy after all, or whatever label people have for you. Second question or second idea. Have you ever felt that you are going against the current, or that nobody understands what you're talking about, or even worse, they think the opposite? It happened to me, for instance, when I moved to Madrid. The first thing people told me was, don't even think about starting a business in this country. A little late because I already done it, but in any case, I didn't think this way. But quickly I realized that I was surrounded by people who had nothing to do with the world of entrepreneurs or investments in any kind. They have mental programs and limiting beliefs that do not allow them to see any possibility for having a company or becoming an independent. And they have fears and behaviors that are very attached to what I call the collective conscious of a country whose framework does not facilitate the development for private investment, because it's true, that is a fact. But it doesn't mean that entrepreneurs do not exist here or that people cannot succeed if they want to be on their own. But indeed, it made me realize that environment was limiting for me. So I had to work on my way up and meet people with different mentality or different mental programs and behaviors so that I find actually my place. So tell me, is this something that has happened to you, or does it sound familiar to you? Now, the third idea or the third question is, have you ever been in a meeting with friends and acquaintances where you felt bored and not having much to share with them? Now, if the answer is yes, this is a sure sign that you are in the wrong environment. And it's not that your friends or acquaintances are better people or worse people than you. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's the fact that you are not surrounded by the people who are truly aligned with you and with your ideas. Now, I have many acquaintances and friends with this problem. I myself, I have experienced this many times. Now, what scares me is the solution that people give me every time. It's like they tell me, I prefer to stay home, read something, or do my things before spending time with people with whom I do not feel nourished. I buy the second part of it. And it is true, it is not worth continuing to nourish yourself with ideas and programs that are not yours and just for the sake of spending time with people. But the second or the first part of this idea is not always a solution. Believe me, I often do it too, but isolating ourselves, we don't get anything with that. We do not grow, we do not learn, and certainly we are not going to create the environment that drives us to go further. So if this resonates with you, if this is your case, and you have chosen the same, to isolate yourself a little bit, it's time to move. Look for activities, seminars, workshops, connect with other people, go out with people you don't know, but people with whom you will have things and interests in common. Your ideas, I'm sure they are super valuable to stay at home or to shut them up. I hope these 3 questions make you remove some concerns about the environment and the possible mental programs that are not yours. I like to quote very much John DeMartini, and he's an excellent expert in human behavior. I love his books. He says that if you don't fill your agenda with things that are aligned with your personal values, your agenda will be filled with the personal values of somebody else, not yours. So I invite you to align yourself more. Don't become your environment if it doesn't help you be yourself and to grow. Be more proactive. Participate in your environment. Meet new people and do new activities with new people. You will see how you are going to create more flexibility and you will feel more authentic. And by the way, if none of these ideas in this episode have resonated with you, then congrats, because it means that you are in the ideal environment with the correct mental programs. So keep growing. I'll see you in another episode for more about mental program for success. I remind you that you can also contact or connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm always there and I love to answer questions and people interacting with me. So connect with me there as well. Big hug and I'll see you in another episode.